Good evening, friends. I'm Satish here from Pragyan AI. So to continue with one topic, one video series. So today I'm trying to discuss about set data type. In that, this is not the first video. It is the third video. So there is the first video which will discuss about the basics about the set data type. So that is the data collection type. And the second video discuss about the some basic set operations like union, intersection, difference, and other things. This is a third video. In this video, I will be discussing uh, uh, about few more Boolean functions like is disjoint, is subset, is superset, and all those things. Plus some built-in functions with the sets actually. With using built-in functions with the set, we'll be discussing. So these operations, like basic operations, set operations, are discussed in the second video. And if you want to understand the basics of set and operations of set, you can look into those two videos, and then you can jump into the third video. So let us start the session. So first thing we will be discussing about what is meant by subset or superset and disjoint set. So let me take an example. So for example, when if I say if set S1, so let me have some elements. So elements is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. These are the elements of set. Now, if I'm trying to create another set, so the set 2, if this has element 1, 2, and 3. So now question comes actually, is this set is subset means like portion, like it has some elements of the main set actually. Subset of set S1 means like is S2 is subset of S1. So here S2 is a subset. So this is a subset. And if this S2 is subset of S1 and this S1 is called superset. So superset. So when we call this S2 is subset of S1, so each element, if each element of S2 exists in S1. So see, we have that 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, everything is available in set 1. So that is S1 set actually. So since the all elements of set 2 is available in set 1, so we call set 2 is a subset of set 1. So set 1 is called superset of set 2. So this is the concept. So this is a concept we will be trying to discuss here, how to check using programmatically. And another one concept what we discuss, we have to discuss here is actually about disjoint check actually. So we understood what is a subset and superset. Now another one concept is called disjoint. What is disjoint actually? Disjoint. So what is joint means like I'm trying to join something. So disjoint means like, so when I'm trying to join something, so some set with another set, I didn't find any connection between those two. So I'm not finding any connection to join them actually. So this is a disjoint. It's like I'm not having any connection. What is that means actually? Assume that like S1 is one set. It has all odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5. So all numbers. And S2 is another set. So if it has all even numbers. So there is no connection, correct? So both are different. So kind of set. So there is no commonality between them. So they cannot be. The characteristic of S1 set is different. S2 is different. So they are a disjoint kind of set. So there is no commonalities between them. So they cannot join properly. There is no, so joining is like, so if you say this is S1 set and S2 set is this one. So both are different. So there is no connection or joint actually. So that is the reason it's called it a disjoint set actually. So these both sets are disjoint sets. There is no commonality. So the one concept is set, superset, subset, and superset. Another concept is disjoint. So disjoint. Are there any commonality? So these are the concepts we will be discussing in detail in this class. So let us start with disjoint, finding out a disjoint, whether the two sets are disjoint or not. So what is the function or method we are using? The method is called is disjoint. So another thing we should be understanding here, if you don't understand what is the method and or something, so there is one more video I will be creating about method and functions something. But time being, you should know that like when I say method or a function, so it will have two things. One is actually it will take some arguments. So we'll say some input arguments. It will take some arguments like argument A, argument B, or argument C, some kind of argument. It may be one, or it may be zero arguments, or it may be n number of arguments. There is no limitation on that, like how many arguments should say. And second thing is actually it will have a name. So it will have a name. So name may be something that like a here it is name is disjoint is a name. Is disjoint is a name. So second is a name. So and the third one is actually what it will return. So what it will return means that it will do some kind of operations or some kind of operation on these arguments, and finally it will return something. So either it will return something or it doesn't return anything. So if it is returning something, then I will say that like it will return some value. If it is not returning anything, then it will return something called none. So none means like it doesn't return. So those kind of things are called functions or methods. So now what are the methods provided by Python for this set is actually one method is called is disjoint method. What is that is disjoint method? Is disjoint method is trying to check whether whatever the parameter are supplying. So you are if you are supplying one parameter, one set, another set, and then you are trying to check whether these two sets are disjoint or not. If it is they are disjoint, so what is the return? True. It will return Boolean value. What is the Boolean value? True or false. If it is true means like both sets, whatever you are trying to supply, both sets are disjoint sets. Means like there is no commonality between these two sets. If it is false means like they are not disjoint, there is some common elements are there. So that is called that is the reason it will say that like a false. So if you say that like A is one set and I am trying to operate on is disjoint, and then is disjoint. So disjoint I am trying to operate, and now I am trying to pass. So what is that I am trying to pass? I am trying to set B. So if this returns true, means it returns true, then what I am trying to do say actually like if it is returning true, so I will be saying that like A and B are disjoint set actually, disjoint set. If it is a false means they are not disjoint. So they are not just disjoint. A and B are not disjoint means like there is some commonalities are there. So what is the commonality means like if you take A intersection B, there will be some common elements will be there. So it won't be zero set actually. It won't be a null set. So that is the reason this will return the false. So how should we do programmatically? Let us see how to do it programmatically. So first create a set A is equal to these elements and set B is equal to these elements. Now I am trying to create. So I am trying to call that function. What is that like? A dot is disjoint. It means like I am trying to compare A and B. So I am trying to use this actually. A set is disjoint from the set B. Then if it is true, then both are disjoint. And other thing is like B is disjoint A. So if B and is different from the A, then it will do true. So another thing you should notice here actually, even if I do A disjoint, A is disjoint B, or B is disjoint A, both are same. Because what I'm trying to compare, this and this. So either here or either there. If there is a commonality, that's fine. If there is no commonality, it will be true. So both will be same. So there is no difference between this and this. So we'll see that result. So if you see here actually, so they are not disjoint because see if you see here actually, A has some elements like 4, 5. B also has those elements 4, 5. So that is the reason it is not disjoint. So if you see another example, so it is 1, 1, 5, 9, 0. This one set 2, 4, minus 5. So here these two sets are different. So that is the reason this both are disjoint. So if you see here, actually, the both are disjoint. A is one set, B is another set. So A set is not doesn't have any elements common with set B. So that is the reason both are disjoint. So we understood how to find out both sets are disjoint. This is another way if you wanted to compare another way. So another way is to compare is actually the same thing if you wanted to do. So you can do with the without using is disjoint function, something like this. If A what is called intersection, if A intersection B. So now if I'm trying to find out if length of that, so length is like after intersecting A and B, after finding out intersection of A and B, if the resultant set has any number of like what is the size of the resultant set actually. If this resultant set is length is 0, means like both are disjoint. So print both are disjoint. So this is another way to both are disjoint. So this is another way of calculating whether they are disjoint or not. Both are disjoint. So this is using the method is disjoint. If you don't want to use, so this is the way you can calculate whether both are disjoint sets or not. So the next thing what we will be looking into is actually we'll be looking into is subset or is superset. I already explained what is a subset and superset. So if you still not understood, so we'll revisit again with the example. So same thing, this is also function. It will take some argument and it will return. What it will return? Whenever you say is or subset or superset, all these functions, when you say is, the return values will be true or false only, Boolean. So if something is a subset of something, then it will say true. If something is not subset of a thing, it will say the false. So how is that is applied? So let us create three sets actually. Set A is having 1, 2, 3. Set B is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and set C is having 1, 2, 4, 5. So if you see here actually, mathematics, if you know the set theory, so set B is a superset, and A and C is a subset of set B. So now I'm trying to check actually, is A is a subset of B. So if A is subset of B, if you see the values, yes, actually, then you should be able to give me the true result. And is B is a subset of A? No, B is not a subset of A. So it will always false because B has more elements than A. So all elements of B should be there in the A. So then only I will call it a subset. But B is a superset actually, but B is not a subset of A. So A is a subset of C. A is subset of C? Yes. No, because 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is not there. So A is not subset of C. So that is also false. And if you see C is a subset of B, so C is a subset of B. 1 is there, 2 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there. Yes. So C is a subset of B. So that will be true. So if you see here actually, you'll try to understand. So again, if you still got confused actually, let us take this value again and I will try to explain. If A is having 1, 2, 3, A is having 1, 2, 3, and B is having 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. B is having 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and C is having 1, 2, 4, and 5. So now when I say A is a subset of B, is subset of B. So then how should I check actually? If A is there, this element is there, this element is also there, this element is also there. So it's like all elements of A is there in the B. So this is true. But other way around, if you are trying to find out if B is a subset of A, so not possible because A is there, that is fine. A is there, B is there, 2 is there, it's fine. 3 is there, it is fine. What about 4? 4 is there in B, but it is not there in A. So it is nothing is there in this. So this is false. So if I am trying to see C is a subset of B, so let us see that like whether C is subset of B. So 1 is there, so it is there. 2 is there, so it is there. So 4 is there, yes, it is there. And 5 is there, it is there. So yeah, so see all elements of C is there in set B. So that is the reason C is a subset of B. That is also true. Other way around is not possible. So if you wanted to check whether A is a subset of C or C is subset of thing. So let us see that like 1 is there, okay, 1 is there, fine in C. So 2 is there, 2 is there here, 2 is there here. But what about 3? 3 is there in A, but it is not there in B. So there is A is not subset of C, and neither way C is not subset of what is called A. So that is what we should be getting. So if you run it, actually A is subset of B, true. B is subset of A, false. A is subset of C, no, because one element is not there and two elements. So C is subset of B, that is true. So this is how I am able to get true and false, true and false. So next, other thing is actually whether it is a superset or not. So already we know that what is a superset. Like let us reconstruct another set actually. So set A is consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set B is 1, 2, 3. Set C is 1, 2, 3. So in this way, A is a superset of B. Yes, obviously, because A has all elements of B, and apart from that, like something else extra also is there. So A is a superset of B. Is B a superset of A? No, because B doesn't have all elements of A, because 4 and 5 is not there in B. So that is the reason B is not a superset of A. And C is a superset of B. C is a superset of C is fine because both are having the elements. So that is all. That is also fine. So is C is B, C other way around also fine. So if you wanted to try other way around, also it is fine because both have same element. So what is the other way around? B is a superset of C. This also will be true. So this is how the superset will be calculated. So both will be true. Only the B is not a superset of A because A has more elements. If you want to see the C is A is a superset of C, that is also will be true. Like if you wanted to see that like A is a superset of C, that is also true. Like A is a superset of, because every element of C is there in A. 1 is there, 2 is there, C is there. So A is a superset of C. So it's like if you see this values, B is A is a superset of B, A is a superset of C, and B is a superset of C, and C is a superset of B. But other way, B is not superset of A, C is not superset of A. So B is a subset of A, C is a subset of A. So that you should be able to figure out. So how should we figure out? So still not able to see. So when I say A is a superset of B, then all elements of B should be there in the A. Should be there in the A. It's like, but they maybe other than that, all these elements, there is no additional elements, still fine. But all the elements of B should be there. Like for example, if it has 1, 2, 3. So if it is 1, 2, 3, AB having 1, 2, 3, that's still fine. Apart from that, like if it has something that's like 4 and 5, it's okay. But at least we should have all the elements of B should be there here. Then only I can call A is a superset of B. So that is how we should be calling. In programmatically, we also looked into. So what are the things we looked into? We looked into is disjoint, is subset, is superset. These are the basic functions of the set theory. So if you see the diagram, like if I have showed you in the first session, so these are the mathematical operations supported by set theory. So we looked into intersection, we looked into union, subset or superset, is member function, is not function, everything we looked into. Another one is actually proper set. When we say proper set, actually, something that like when we say something is a proper set, so contains another set. It's like, so your entire element should be having that actually proper subset or not proper subset. When we say proper subset or not proper subset, means like not contained in others. It's like, so when we say all these elements, so that is there in the other one. Like, it is something like a subset or same thing we discussed. So they have something called as a proper subset or subset. So the only thing, the difference here and there is actually, so all the elements are there, then that is called a proper subset. Like, so for example, if I say, if I have to say that like it's a proper subset or not subset, so same thing, like, so if elements are there, like, so if A is proper subset of B, so all element, if A is proper subset of B, all elements of A should be there in the B. So that is the only thing which we had already discussed. So this will end all, this will complete all the set query functionalities in Python. Apart from that, Python also provides some additional kind of functions. These are the generic functions, built-in functions. It can be applied on any kind of a data collection. Like it is not that like it can be only applied in the set, but these are the built-in functions. They are not the methods of set actually, they are built-in functions. What is the difference between built-in function and on the method? So when I say methods of a set, when I say set methods, when I say set methods means like I will be operating on the set. So something that like A is a set, and that I am trying to do all that methods, either whatever the method, it is update, or it may be copy, or it may be disjoint, anything. So what is that actually? This method I am trying to apply on a set. So that is called set method. Those are the methods can be used with the set actually. But when I say built-in methods, which is used for everything, means like these are predefined. There is no need to call import function. So these are readily available. Without using import function, we should be calling these functions. And if you don't understand import function, you look the import video. So these are the built-in functions are can be used across all kind of data types. It is not that like they will be very specific to set. So these are the common built-in functions. It can be used on any kind of data types actually. So let us start one by one. So let us look into one by one. What is the first one? First one is called all method. What is that all method means? So see, it will try to check the values of the data types. So if all elements are true, then it will return the true. Or if all elements are not true, then it will return false. So for example, you take an example here. I am trying to create a set. So set with the 3 elements, true, 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 means like all elements are true, and set with B, so true, 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 false. So some elements are true, some elements are false. And the set C, some elements are false, all elements are false. So I'm trying to create C set. And also it is not the only the number is a Boolean values. It can also be the number. If any number greater than 0, greater than 0 is considered as a true value, 0 is considered as a false value. So all the number, positive numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, all considered as true. It is set A is something similar to true, 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 true. It's like a number, if it is the value is 0, then only it is considered as false. If number more than 1, 0, then it is considered as true. It's like, so what I'm trying to say is actually, I'm trying to create 1, 2, 3. These are a Boolean sets, and this is the number sets actually. So I'm trying to check applying the all methods. How should I apply the all methods? You can call the methods by passing the values. So whenever we say methods, so methods will take some certain parameters. Like so all is a method, and I'm passing the set. I'm trying to pass the set. So and then it will return something. What it will return? It will return either true, so either true or false. So when it will return as a true, so when all elements of this set is true, then only it will be true. If any one element is false, then it will be false. So that is what means, like when you say all elements it looks into, all should be true, then only it is. If not, any one is not there, then all are not correct. No, all are not same. So something is different, one is different. So that is the reason it is saying false. So this method will do. So in the first case, when I apply all of A, so when I say all of set A, this one will give, let me first apply this first actually. So this one will give result true because all are true. But the second one, so one element is false, so this will give false. So this will give the false. And if you see set C, Boolean set C, so this all elements are false, so this result will be false. So now if you try with the set A, every number is more than 1, more than 0, so everything is true, true, true. So this also will return true. And if 4, 5, 6, 7 all are greater than 0, this also true, 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 everything is true, true. This also will return true. So if you try to see the result, so this is how the result looks like. So first one is true because everything is true. Second one is false, that's the reason false. Third one is all false, that is the reason all false. The set A has all numbers greater than 0, so that is true. Second also has all numbers greater than 0, so that is also true. So that is the reason we got the true. So you see, this is how the all functions will return. What it checks actually, every elements are whether it is a positive, the true or false. So if all are true, that is how it is returning. So the other thing which I wanted to do is actually, if you wanted to do other thing is like, I don't want to look all are true, but I am looking for any one is true. So the application for all are true is like, so for example, if all cars are red color, so I'll say true. If all cars what we are seeing is red color, so it's true. Or all cars from some company, then it is true, then it will be true. So sometimes like whether all are of similar kind, homogeneity, if you want to check, I'm trying to use all. So all of same type or something that like. So anyone is like anyone is true. It's like anyone is false, something that like. So if anyone is used for, one should be true out among all the elements. So I will be how I will be using. Let us create a set actually. So I'm trying to create a set. So this is one set. So 1, 3, 4, 0. So 0 means false. So 1, 3, 4 means like true. So anyone will give still give true because at least one element is true. So that is the reason it is true. And if you take the second case, so L is equal to 0 and false. Two elements are there. One is 0, another is a false. 0 means also false. False means also false. Any one true, so it is not there because both are false. So this result will be false. And if you see here, actually 0 means false, false means false. So 5 means true. So any will give true because 5 is there. So 5 is the true. So if you see empty, so empty means like it doesn't have anything. So if you are looking for that, so that is also false. So this is how the any function works actually. This is how the any function works. So because if nothing is there, so we nothing is there means like as good as null. So means like null means like a 0. 0 means like it is a false. So false means so any will return false result. So this is the way we should be using. So we should be using all method to find out any value is true. Any method is actually to check actually any value is true, and these are the built-in functions. Other than that, actually another popular built-in function we oftenly use actually length. What is the length actually? Length is a function which will take any iterable objects. It's like we can pass any data types there, and it will find out actually how many elements are there in that. So for example, if I'm trying to send this set, the set of languages, programming languages. So this is the set. So in that, like we have 3 elements. One is a Python, another is a Java, another is JavaScript. And if I'm trying to find out the length of this set, so means like if you say length in bracket, I should be passing that set actually a variable name, that variable name. So the languages. No, it will give how many elements are there. So this is 0th element, this is 1th element. No, so this is the index. So I'm not looking for index, I'm looking for the count. So 1 element, 2 elements, 3 elements. Like so it will give how many elements are there in the length in that set actually. So here there are 3. So it can be used anything. So you can check. You can check. So another thing is actually like let me do another way, another specific thing. So assume that if it has something else, like so it has another called a tuple. So tuple of some language things, like so let me say that like ML machine learning machine language. Another is assembly language. Let us say that like assembly language, and another if I say that like high level language. So if I'm trying to give something like this is a tuple. So now, so this will consider as one element, this will consider one element, this will consider as one element, and this whole thing will consider as another element. So this whole thing will be considered as another element. So total number of elements is 4. It is not that like it will take individual of that, because this whole will act as another element. So this is how the length is calculated. Length of any data type is calculated. So what we looked into? We looked into length, any, all, and length. What is the next function? Next function or method is sum. It's like if you pass an element, so collection data, so sum will give summation of all those elements. So for example, if you are creating a data set called marks. So marks of students, so different marks of the students. Now, if you wanted to add all these things, so I will be using the function sum or method sum. So what you will do actually, So if you wanted to calculate that, like just sum and the marks, you are passing that set. So it will calculate all those marks. So this is the sum mark. So sum also will take another one parameter, extra parameter. So apart from this mark, the data types actually the collection retrievable object. So one more is actually is the number. So what is that actually? This number will also will add. What is that means actually? So it is something like this. So when I'm trying to add somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm trying to by default I will start sum is equal to 0, and then I will say sum is equal to sum plus that value, correct? So it's like so initially sum will be equal to 0, then sum is equal to sum plus 2, then again sum becomes 2, then the sum plus 2 is actually to another element 2 plus 3. So this is how I'm trying to add the numbers. So when I say start is equal to 0, start is equal to 10 means like what it will do is actually initially initializes sum is equal to 10. Then everything will keep on adding that. So it means that actually, so for example, if I have element 1, 2, and 3, and I'm without the sum. So initially sum will be 0, and then when I take sum, so next time sum is equal to 0 plus 1, so that is becomes 1, and next time sum is equal to 1 plus 2, so that will become 3. So next time it will become 3 plus 3. So this is how the sum is calculated by default way. So but if I say if I define the start is equal to 10, so start is equal to 10 if I define, then how the sum will be? Initially sum is equal to 10, when then 1, so sum is equal to sum plus 1, so that will become 11. Then next sum plus 2, so that is 11 plus 2, that is become 13. So then for then again sum plus 3, so 13 plus 3, so that will become, so what is called 16. So it's like what it means actually, whatever the start value you are trying to give, that will be added on the sum. So it's like if I'm trying to create a sum here, so this whatever the start value will be there, it will first add this number, and this will be adding to that number. It's like you should not start from 0, you start from the 10. It's like this 10 value should be added on the sum, whatever you are trying to do. So that is how the result will be. So this is how I'll do it. It's like, so without start actually defined, so the sum is 991, but with start is equal to 10, it is 1001. So if you wanted to say that start is equal to 9, so it will exactly become 1000. So just you are trying to add. If you wanted to say that like start is equal to not just that, like if you wanted to say that like start is 100, so then it will be, so that is how it will be there. It's like this, whatever you are trying to say here, actually it will add to the sum. So this is how the sum works. So we discussed about sum, we discussed about length, and the next function is actually max. So what is this max function? If you pass the values to that, like for example, the max, so max function, if you are passing the set here, so it will calculate what is the maximum value in that set. So in this, for example, this is set number having 9, 34, 11, minus 4, and 27. So if you are trying to calculate the max here, so what it will give is actually it will find out what is the maximum value in this number. So if it is in this case, actually 9, 34, 11, minus 4, 27. 34 is the maximum value. So it will calculate that actually, like it will return that maximum value. So it will return. So if you say that like if I'm trying to add another one, so something that like here 98, now the maximum value is the 98. So it will return the 98. So that is the opposite of that is actually minimum. What is this minimum means? So if you pass the set to the minimum function or method, so it will find out what is the minimum value in this. So it will return the minimum value. In this case, minimum value is -4. So it will return the -4. If we add another one, so another value something that's like -0. So -4 is lesser than 0. So it will still return -4. So minimum function will return the minimum value, maximum function will return the maximum value, sum function will do the summation of all those elements. So, and apart from that, like there are two more functions are there. One is enumerate, another one is called sorted. So first we look into sorted one. What is the sorted mean? So when we say it is sorted, so the elements will be sorted. So what is the function method? How should we call it? sorted iterable. Iterable means like what is the data collection type you wanted to pass on. And then key is equal to none, reverse is equal to false. So key is equal to none, we don't look into, that doesn't have anything like related to key. Just forget about that actually. Just you see the another word called reverse. So what is the reverse? If you say reverse is equal to true, means like it will sort in reverse way. If reverse is not there, it will sort in ascending way. So if reverse is true, then it is a descending way. If reverse is true, false, then it is ascending way. So this, so while sorting the number, what is the sorting means? The number means like sorting a number means like if I give 3, 4, 8, 7, 2, 1. If I have to sort, either I have to sort in ascending way or I should be starting in a descending way. Ascending way of sorting is just like 1 first, then second, then third, then 4, then 7 and 8. This is ascending way. Sorting in the reverse way, like descending way is actually 8 is first, 7 is next, and 4 is next, 3 is next, 2 is 1. This is a descending way. It's like it is decreasing this way. It's like the first one is the highest value and keep on decreasing. Ascending way means like first is the lowest value and keep on increasing. So whether if you wanted to do reverse is equal to true, if reverse is equal to true, then this way it will do. If reverse is false, means like it will be executing this way. So it's like whenever you are calling that function, if you say reverse is equal to true, the descending way it will happen. Reverse is equal to false, means like it's ascending way. So sort. So let us do the sort function. Let us use the sort function. So let us first create a set. So I'm trying to create a set. So using 4, 2, 12, and 8. Now I'm trying to do sort. Much like I'm not defining any nothing. I'm not passing on whether reverse is true or false. By default, like if I'm not passing anything, so this reverse is by default is defined as a false. Much like there is no need to pass on that. So we'll discuss this in the function things. If you don't understand what is the default value, by default value, or other things passing to the function, we'll discuss in detail in the function videos. So if I'm not passing any values, means like whatever is the default value will be there, so that it will take. So what is the default value? Reverse by default value is false. So it will do in ascending order. So 2 is the first, 4, 8, and 12. This is ascending order. So if you give the letters also, it will do the ascending order. What is the ascending order? A is first, then A, after that E, then I, then O and U. So it does in ascending order. It's like ascending order means like how it will come to know which is the order. So A has some ASCII value, E has some ASCII value, I has some ASCII value. So ASCII values of these letters in ascending order. So it will do in ascending order. So everything will be converted into ASCII value, and ASCII values ascending order will be printed. And if you don't understand what is the ASCII value, then you should be watching about the ASCII value videos. Actually, what is meant by ASCII values and how you will be using and step patterns will be what there will be one video on the ASCII values will be created. So this is how the sort function works. If you wanted to do in the reverse order, let me do the reverse order. Let us try that actually. So if you wanted to do in reverse order, what you will be doing apart from that, like reverse whatever the keyword is, this reverse should be false. Like you should be making this as a true. So you should be making this as a true. Then what happens? So it will execute in the reverse order. Means like it will do in the reverse order. How it will do? So 12 is the first. So descending order 12, 8, 4, 2. So if you see here actually, so this is ascending order. This is the descending order. This is how the sorted function works. This is a sorted function. This is a pre-built function. It's like built-in function we will be using. Okay. Now the last one pre-built function what we will be discussing is actually enumerate. What is the enumerate? So when we say enumerate, so it will do two things. One is actually whatever the iterable object we already discussed now. So its elements can be iterated like set. All these things, set, dictionary, list, all those things, iterable kind of objects. So iterable object, and one is the iterable object it will take, and second one is actually it will take the start point. So from where it should be starting, iterating. So it will, by default, it will start from the index 0. But if you wanted to do from something else, you can specify what is the start position. So what this enumerate does actually, so it will does two things. One is actually it will take one element, and also it will give some kind of a index where exactly this is presented. Like for example, you take a set here, So Python, Java, and JavaScript. No, this is one. So now if you wanted to iterate, so enumerate, then I'm trying to give this. So by default, I'm not giving any start, so start will be 0. So what it will do, it will return Python at position, what position it is there, Python at position 0, so Java at position 1, and JavaScript at position 2. So it's like it will return a tuple. So what is that actual tuple consists of? One is the location where exactly that element exists, and second is the element. So location, element, location, element. So this is what the return value of the enumerate. It's like what it does actually, it will iterate elements, and it will say that like where that element exists. So it will give that location plus the what is called the value. So location and value, location and value. So it will return two things. So enumerate will return two things. So what happens actually? So to do that actually, first you should be calling the enumerate. So first I have created set. Now I created a enumerate of the language, and this is the return like what is called return value of that. So I'm trying to say here, and this I cannot print directly. I should be converting in the set, and I should be displaying the result. So let us see that actually, if you are not able to understand this clearly, let us view that like how this enumerate works using the Python tool. So this is a very interactive kind of a tool you should be looking into if you are not able to understand, clearly visualize how exactly the certain functions or methods work. So let us edit here. So I will show you that how exactly iterate does. So now first thing actually, it will first create a set. So it created a set. So this is a set. So it has how many elements? Python, Java, and JavaScript. 3 elements are there. Now enumerate. When I say enumerate, so it will create an enumerate instance or object. So it is create enumerate instance or object, but it has not generated all those enumerated values. So it just created instance. When I say set, or when I create a data type, data collection type, then it will create all those numbers. Then only it will try to create that actually. So that is the time it will create those things. What is that actually? It will create a combination of the value and the location, value and the location, and what kind of content, what kind of data type it is storing. So whatever the data type you are trying to do. If you are trying to give set here, it will create a set. If you are trying to give list here, it will create a list. So it is not that like just only set actually. It works with all kind of time. You can also create a list also. But since this video is all about set, so I am trying to explain the set only. So, but it has to be there. When we do this actually, when we create a set, it's like the result should be stored in a set. It's like it will create a set and result will store. So what is the result consist of? Results consist of the value and its location, value and its location, a pair of value and location, value and location. That is what is the result of enumerate function or method. So this is how it executes. So enumerate is the one thing. So why we will be using this enumerate? So it is very, very useful for to understand which value at what location. If you are interested to know that like which value at what location, enumerate is the best method to look into that. Because what happens apart from saying that like value, it also says like it was position, and this is very much useful for some kind of like set and other things, because set doesn't have index for them. So this is very, very useful for them. And where exactly we will be using these things, like so something that like you could take one example. I am trying to find out the item by item. I am trying to find out the iteration in the list. So this is a generic enumerate will do the enumeration of that, and it will try to print. So how it will be printing? The first one for loop. So it will be printing. So item is actually like item will have a number and the value. So bread is at location. What is that? What location? Bread is which element at what location? It will say. So butter is at location 0, milk is at location 1, bread is at location 2. So it gives the value and at what location it is there. So if you still confused actually, then what you can do is actually you can print the grocery. So you can print the grocery, and then you will see that like how that values are printed. So you may be feeling that like okay, bread is first here, but while giving the value, so it is giving different thing. So if you wanted to see that like result, so this is how. So butter is first, correct? Butter is, because this is how the set is stored. So set is unordered data type, correct? So this is how it is stored actually. Whatever the way you you give the order of those values, but it doesn't bother about that. It will store in its own order. So it is an ordered structure. So this is how it stores, and this when we say enumerate, so based on this, whatever the way it stores, so it will give butter is at location 0, milk is at location 1, and bread is at location 2. So this is how I should be using iterate, enumerate with set actually. And if you wanted to separate out these two things, I want count is separate thing, item is separate thing. So you can do something like a for comma for count comma item. Means what happens actually, enumerate will do pass two values. One value, the count will come into the count variable. Means like index will come into the count variable. Value will come into the item variable. So this is how you can do iteration of what is called the set. So using enumerate. And sometimes what you wanted to do is actually, I don't want to start with 0. I wanted to start with 100 or start with 50 or with 20. Then you should be passing on the start value. So it's like what happens after that, whenever whatever the value you are trying to give, it will start from that location. So from that index. So if you see here actually the difference between the second one and third one. So it will start with by default 0. Since the third one I'm asking to start with number 100, so it will start with number 100, 101, 102. So why we want this one actually? Sometimes we want to say that like I don't want to count from 1. So always I don't want to count from 0. Sometimes I wanted to count from this. Like for example, examples will be, so let us see that like you are trying to count how many students are there. So class A, in class A, there are 50 students are there. So you just wanted to count actually how many total students are there. So class A 50 are there, and class B another 40 are there. But if I have to order them or give a numbers actually, irrespective of class A and class B, so I will be giving 0 to 49 here. But next time I don't be again starting with 0 to 40. So I should be starting with 50. 50 then plus 90 up to 89. So this is how. So then I should be giving the start value should be 50. So that's why it will start from 50. It should not start from the something. So this is how we will try. No, don't start again with the 0. So so this is these kind of operations we'll be using for passing the start. Every time we don't need to start from the 0. So that time we will be using enumerate with some start values. Or else like if you are just wanted an index or like just wanted a location information, then you cannot supply this. Like by default it will be 0. So this is how the enumerate works. So this enumerate also works with any kind of data types. Like here in this video, I was just discussing about set, but it can work on any data types. So to summarize here, so again, so what we discussed in this session is actually we discussed about 3 set operation. What is that actually? Is disjoint or is superset or subset. So these are the 3 things we discussed. And apart from this, like we also discussed about some built-in functions, which built-in functions may not be with the set. So these using set actually, but it will also work with any kind of data variables. Like so data collection, it works with set, it works with links, it works with dictionary, it will show everything. So what all those are actually? One is all methods. If every element is true, then it is true. Any method, if any element is true, then it is true. Or length, it will give how many elements are there in that collection. Sum is a summation of all the values, and then max value, minimum value. Enumerate actually it enumerates and gives the count and the value. And the finally one is actually sorted. So it will sorted in ascending order or descending order. So these are the basic methods, built-in methods supported for any type of data. So here we'll end the session, and if you have any questions, if anything is not understood, please ask me the questions in the next session, live session. And since I'm going this fast because since all these concepts are covered, so you will be using these videos mainly to refresh your concepts. So and that is the reason, like a lot of concepts, like sometimes you will be using some other method or some other topics also. So I'm trying to refer. So if you are first time, if you wanted to use, then you should be watching this video along with the other videos whichever I'm trying to I referred in the video. So thank you.